now we're going to look at the variable costing tool. And so this is different than our full costing method. So the full costing method is your GAAP method. So that's going to be performed regardless. And the variable costing method is an additional option for managers that's not required by GAAP. So using this information, a new problem that you have not seen, we've got information about the units produced. It's first year of operations. We've got variable cost per unit and fixed cost per unit, or in total, I should say. And you've got your solution here. So this is going to be the bottom line, but I'm going to show you how you arrive at those two numbers. This is just the information in a tabular format. Your price, units sold, actual production, which equals your budgeted production, unit costs, and your fixed costs. Now your ending inventory is derived by just taking the difference between your actual production and the amount sold. So the heart of the schedule is here. So full costing is just your traditional income statement, where you take your sales and you subtract your cost of goods sold. Now cost of goods sold is arrived at by taking beginning inventory, which was 0, adding our cost of goods produced, and subtracting our ending inventory. Cost of goods produced, you can look over here for the formula, but that's just basically taking the 52, which is all of your manufacturing costs times your units produced. And your ending inventory, the amount that stays on your books, is based on your $52. And then we subtract out our fixed costs, and this is our fixed selling administrative costs to arrive at our income. On the variable costing side, we do start out with the same revenue. Revenue is going to be the same under both cases. And beginning inventory is 0, but look what the differences start here. So here for your cost of goods produced, we're only going to include variable cost. Only the $50 will be included here. And your ending inventory is also going to be based just on the $50, so just on the variable cost. Because you can see in yellow what we're trying to arrive at in this column is contribution margin. So we take sales less variable cost, then we're going to subtract all of our fixed costs, our fixed manufacturing cost in total, and our fixed selling administrative. So we arrive at $1,525,000. So there is a difference here. Variable costing is lower in this case, and it'll always be lower than full costing when our inventory values are building. So in this case, we produce more than what we sold. Our ending inventory went up. So we're going to show more favorability in the full costing method just because we built up our inventory. And what happened here is that whenever you build up your inventory under full costing, some of the fixed cost sits on the balance sheet in inventory. Some of your fixed manufacturing cost sits on your balance sheet in ending inventory. Under variable costing, you just absolutely all of it, all of your fixed manufacturing costs are going to be expensed instead of sitting on your balance sheet. So if we look at the difference here, I've got it calculated down here. The $1,935,000 minus your $1,525 is $410. Another way to look at that, though, is just by taking your ending inventory times your fixed manufacturing cost per unit. So the difference can be recalculated by just taking your ending inventory times your fixed manufacturing cost per unit. And so that's the difference that flows all the way down. And so that in and of itself is the main advantage of the variable costing method. What it does is it eliminates the temptation to overproduce. So you're not going to look any more favorable under variable costing if you build up your inventory. So under full costing, when you do build up your inventory, you get a better bottom line because some of your fixed costs don't flow all the way down. They just sit on the balance sheet, sort of buried inside the ending inventory. So if you use variable costing for management control, so management motivation, you eliminate that motivation for management to just build up ending inventory just to make the bottom line look better. There won't be this temptation, in other words, to hide costs in ending inventory. And that should wrap that up.